Welcome to the Burning Empowerment of Your Soul blog series, where each week we embark on a transformative journey exploring motivational verses and quotes that resonate with the depths of our soul. In the empowering quest, we uncover the keys to self-discovery, inspiration, and an unyielding strength and wisdom of remarkable individuals. Welcome back. This is week 6. And it's time to embrace the challenges ahead of us with an unyielding strength and an unwavering determination. As we embark on this journey together, let us all remember the words and the wisdom that comes from John 16:33 and 33. I have said these things to you, that in you may have peace in the world. You will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. That's what Jesus Christ said in the New Testament. So in this week's motivational video blog, we're diving deep into the essence of overcoming obstacles and diving into finding our peace in the midst of chaos and realizing the power within us to conquer any challenges that come our way. So listen up, warriors. Week 6, let's start this charge head first into the storm. I want you to remember the words I'm about to throw at you. I have said these things to you, that in you may have peace in the world. You will have tribulation, but take heart. That John 16:33. Now that you're going to how are you going to go about doing this? We have to embrace our adversities. Listen up, warriors. There's no time for excuses. I'm sure you don't want to see I sure don't want to see any of you cowering in the face of adversity. This is our battleground, and you will face challenges head on. Now let's talk about embracing our adversities. How do you plan to tackle the obstacles in your path? Are you going to crumble under the weight of them, or are you going to rise up like warriors from the ashes? Now, in the thick of this storm, I want you to consider, how do you handle adversities? Not just for yourself, but as a leader, as a peacemaker, as a true warrior doesn't just conquer his personal challenges, they become the beacon of strength for others. Are you ready to be the one? Are you ready to step up to the challenge? Who are you going to become in the midst of chaos? Are you going to stand tall and bring calm to the storm? Can you be the peacemaker in the room, unifying comrades in the face of adversity? Now let's talk about building a stronger, unified teams. In the heart of a battle, you can't afford a fractured unit. So answer me this. How do you plan to foster unity within your team? Are you going to be the leader who thrives in division, or the one who builds bridges even in the toughest of times? Remember, a unified team is an unstoppable force. How are you going to ensure that your team stands strong, shoulder to shoulder, against the adversities that come about when you're divided in all sense of the word? Undoubtedly, doubts will come. But warriors, the battleground is ours. Not just a physical one. It's a test of our character, our leadership, and our resilience. How are you going to emerge from the crucible of adversity? Not just a warrior who survives as a peacemaker, but who unifies and builds stronger teams. It's time to dig in deep and find the answers within yourself. Now move out, warriors, and let's face this adversity with the strength that resides in each and every single one of us. Dear members of the Burning Empowerment of Your Soul community, your presence is a part of this transformative journey. And it means the world to me as we embark on these journeys together, weekly exploring these motivational and empowerment journeys. I humbly invite you to not just be an observer, but also to be an active participant in this network of elevation. Consider subscribing, Burning Empowerment of Your Soul Facebook page, liking our videos on YouTube, and sharing your thoughts within your time. Your engagement is not just a click, it's a commitment to our growth and the growth of this community. I encourage you to even write me on Facebook, or to, if you prefer, to email us at empower.yoursoul.blog.series@gmail.com, and share with me what resonates with you, your personal stories, and what you love to see added to this blog series. Your voice and your heartbeat is like this part of this journey. So let's forge a path of empowerment together that resonates with each and every single one of us. Thank you for being a part of this journey as we endeavor listening back and forth. Now, let's talk about a story about rising from the ashes. Picture this, warriors. Battered by a life storm, defeated on the verge of surrender. The warriors in you, yes, you heard me right, but in the face of adversity, something remarkable happens. The warrior within you rises from the dust and of all setbacks and stares back at life, ready for the next battle. Now, what battles are you facing right now? How are you rising from those ashes? Are you going to crumble in the midst of them, or are you rising up? I don't want to hear any excuses. It's not the load that breaks you down. It's the way you carry it. Lewis Holtz. You carry the weight of your challenges. Your mindset is the battlefield. Now, are you carrying it like a warrior, or are you being a defeated soldier? Tell me, what are you going to do today to strengthen your mindset? Effective communication is 20% what you know and 80% how you feel about what you know. That's Jim Rohn. In the business battlefield, effective communication is your sword and shield. Now, how are you going to use these communication skills to lead your troops into victory? You have the ability to lead others into victory with this communication skills growing. Listen up, soldiers. It's not about avoiding conflict, but about how you resolve them that matters. T.D. Jakes said, you're about to face conflicts head on, whether it's in your family, trenches, or the business background. Are you prepared to confront them like a true warrior? How do you plan to use your gifts and your skills to turn the tide of conflict into collaboration? Are you going to be the one that charges into the next war, or are you going to be the diplomat that rises from the destruction to rebuild others? All right, I want to tell you a story, soldiers. Picture this. In a town called Smallville, a village torn apart with internal strife, just like chaos you might face. The Smiths family, once a stronghold of unified Muslim individuals, now are locked in a brutal civil war. They're over scarce resources. The fields and battlefields, bodies all over the place, chaos everywhere, violence breaking out. After these years of senseless war, the surviving Smiths finally had enough in this battered town hall. They decided to meet their demons and conflict. To their surprise, they realized that the suffering mirrored one another's. Shared desires for prosperity, peace, and sustenance. The war had blinded them that their common goals, leaving them propelled into this turmoil. Now here's the question, soldiers. How do you plan to break the cycle of conflict in your life? How will you discover that your shared desires that can unite rather than divide? Determined to heal, the Smiths put aside their differences. They pooled their resources, revitalized their barren land, and began a process of renewal. Their village once wasn't on the brink of destruction, blossomed now anew. Now tell me, soldiers, how do you have the strength and the wisdom to put aside differences for a greater good? Can you envision the new beginnings emerging from the ashes of conflict? The Smiths' transformation became a beacon of hope, not just for them, but for their neighboring families. The lesson is clear. In times of crisis, understanding, cooperation, and unifying are more potent than hatred. So what's your plan, soldiers? How are you going to turn conflict into collaboration? Can you be the beacon of hope for those that a conflict type of attitude? But you have to know yourself to know how to take care of yourself, said Denzel Washington. Stand in the front of the mirror and take a hard look. Who are you? What controls you? Do you have the strength to face yourself in times of adversity? Marcus Arden said, you have the power over your own mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. So what's in your control right now? What actions can you take to regain that strength? And Eric Thomas quotes, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. So now tell me, how bad do you want to succeed? How bad do you want this? Are you willing to fight for your success in your families, your marriages, your businesses, and the things that you want to build together? Can you fight like your life depends on it? It's time to wrap this up. The mission is real clear and the directive is as well. In the grand scheme of this battle, effective communication is our secret weapon. As Jim John declared, effective communication is 20% of what you know, but 80% of how you feel about what you know. So let me ask you, soldiers, how are you sharpening your communication skills to lead towards this victory? How are you going to ensure that your words are the powerful force of collaboration and unity and not division? T.D. Jakes hammered it home and said, it's not about avoiding conflict, but it's about how you resolve it that matters. Are you ready to confront conflicts head on? Wielding the power of the words of peace like a seasoned warriors? Well, will you be a diplomat rising from destruction to rebuild? Or will you be the divisive person in the room? The Smiths in Smallville discovered that transformative power of seeking peace. Now, warriors, how do you plan on seeking peace in your battles, both personal and professional? Remember, it's not a sign of weakness, but a mark of true strength. Hebrews 12 and 14 commands, pursue peace with all men and the sanctification without which no one will see the Lord. No one's going to see the Christ within you if you're not pushing forward towards peace. This marching orders are for us as soldiers and Christians, and it's a powerful weapon of peace in achieving our goals, ensuring it's non-negotiable and pursued at all times and at all costs. So warriors, as you navigate this battlefield, let me leave one thing with you. In the midst of this chaos, seek peace. How will you make peace a weapon in your arsenal? Achieving victory not just for yourself, but for your family, your team, your businesses, and all those that are around you, your entire community. This mission is clear, soldiers. Now let's go out and do it. Communicate with strength of peace and conquer your goals. Let's do this together. Let's be a build in every single situation that we're in. Take care, my friends. Take care, my family. See you next week, Monday at 12.